It's time for your Raw review, motherfuckers. And tonight's show was, well, it was alright. I had some problems with it, but I guess for the most part it was pretty good. We had a really good match with Cena and Cesaro. There was a lot of other annoying things about this. You gotta keep in mind they're building up for Battleground. Now, oddly enough, this is Rollins and Brock, but the real Rollins and Brock won't be until SummerSlam. I'd be surprised if they even really have the match, like if it goes any more than 5 minutes at the pay-per-view. I've got a feeling they've got something, in store for Battleground where they're not gonna, really give us too much of the match because they're gonna have it at the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. I'm even surprised that they're even having anything at all at Battleground with Brock Lesnar. I don't get it. Brock Lesnar is not at Survivor Series, but he's wrestling at Battleground, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. He skips all these major pay-per-views, and Battleground, the worst pay-per-view of the year, Battleground, that's the one that Brock Lesnar is gonna wrestle on. I don't know if they're really going to have the match or, whatever the fuck they're really going to do. But anyway, let's get to the show tonight. First up, we had Seth Rollins and the Authority. 20 whole minutes of nothing but just Seth Rollins giving shit away like it was the Oprah Winfrey show. I'm not even kidding, motherfuckers. Seth Rollins gives Kane and J&J, Apple iWatches, for God fucking sakes. Okay, was it pretty obvious that Apple is a sponsor here? Big close-ups of the fucking watches, showing it off. Hey guys, look at my new watch. Like, holy fucking shit, could they get any more fucking pathetic? This is not even funny or entertaining. They're just showing off some fucking product placement here, for God fucking sakes. Then you had Kane getting a trip to Hawaii. They had some fucking girls come out and, Hawaii and shit. Like, the fuck's going on here? And then you had a Cadillac. J&J Security get a Cadillac. Seth Rollins says the model of the car at least 4 or 5 times, trying to fucking cement it in our head right there that it's product placement. I didn't really see the fucking point of this. They're going like fucking off the rails here. I almost felt like saying, hello, is this a wrestling show? What the fuck are they fucking doing? I mean, giving away shit. Like I said, it was more Oprah Winfrey than fucking wrestling. Doing these fucking giveaways reminded me of a morning talk show like Ellen or something, maybe if people don't fucking remember Oprah, but, Ellen or some fucking shit like that where they do giveaways on a fucking morning show. It reminded me of that fucking shit. I was like, what the fuck am I fucking watching here? A little bit sad, to tell you the truth. Nothing really entertaining. It's just, I get it, it's a Seth Rollins way of kissing the ass of the Authority by giving them gifts, but it just kept going on and on and on. WWE had a way of getting their point across back in the day without having to do mindless product placement and just 20 minutes of unentertaining bullshit. This is how you open the show. Back in the day, as I said, watching all these classic Raws, the 1998 Raws, reliving these great Raws, these classic Raws that should be templates for the Raws of today. The first 20 minutes established, the point of the show. The show, they got the main plot for the whole entire show down. They hooked you in. You knew you're going to be watching for the next 2 hours. Why should I be watching for another fucking 3 hours today with a fucking opening like this? Just lazy fucking bullshit that's not even fucking trying to capture my attention with 20 fucking minutes of fucking bullshit. If I wanted to look at the fucking Apple Watch, I could go online and look at videos of it on YouTube. You know, there's better ways of fucking wasting my time than watching it in the fucking wrestling format. Then you had the Big Show defeating Mark Henry in like 2 minutes. Why do they keep Mark Henry around just to embarrass him? That's all I'm fucking gonna say here. Didn't see the fucking point. Then Ryback came out. Miz comes out to attack Ryback. Ryback wants the match now. They have the match, and a couple of minutes into it, Miz just walks out. You know, this is a finish that they've kind of calmed down with, you know, recently. They used to have wrestlers walking out of matches like a year or two ago, like almost every other match. You know, we still have a lot of countdown finishes, but it's not as outrageous as it used to be. But still, when it happens, it's pretty fucking annoying, and this is no different. You know, come up with more creative finishes than, you know, just normal walking out of the match. You know, there's not even any story behind it. Just the wrestler quitting the match for no fucking reason. You know, come up with a way of making it entertaining. You know, Miz is not a better heel by just walking out of the match. You know, have him do it in a more entertaining fashion, at least. Just doing everything so cookie cutter. It's boring. There's, you know, every single thing that goes on in this show almost is just complete fucking boredom. They have no way of presenting anything in an entertaining fashion. That's another point I should bring out about back in the day. They can make something that would normally seem uninteresting on paper look fantastic, you know, in actuality. Now they have no fucking way of doing that. There's no effort even put into it, so, you know, I'm not even going to put any effort into trying to enjoy this then. Then you had Paige defeating Alicia Fox. You know, this whole storyline with Paige going against the Bellas has been going on for fucking months, and Paige still hasn't had anybody join her side. All this has done is make Paige look pathetic. You know, do they not realize that? You know, I talked about in the previous video the other day. The writers are saying how frustrated they are. Okay, you know, you're frustrated and everything, but how about this? How about making a fucking effort? You know, I don't know if it's just McMahon or whatever it may be that's holding you guys back. But for God fucking sakes, this doesn't even look like you're trying. You're having a storyline here with Paige. The point of this is to get people to rally, you know, with Paige on her side to go against the Bellas. Alicia Fox joins up with the Bellas. There's more people on the Bellas side than Paige's side, and Paige has been trying, you know, hard to get people on her side. So all this is saying is that nobody likes Paige. So if nobody on the roster likes Paige, why should we like Paige? This is just getting this. All this is going to tell the viewer is that she's very dislikable. So how are we supposed to get behind and cheer Paige if, you know, she's made to look pathetic all the time? Now, she won this match. It was an alright women's match, I guess. But, you know, the whole storyline, the whole point of having the match, it's fucking pointless. You know, still, Paige has not gained any supporters, and there's nobody really backstage who's worth, you know, who's left on the fucking roster, you know, who's a decent wrestler who could team with Paige. You know, they could bring back Emma, they could try to, you know, at least try to make her a serious wrestler again, or bring somebody over from NXT, you know, like Becky Lynch or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Do something. Do fucking something. I shouldn't have to come up with all these fucking suggestions. You have a storyline where Paige is supposed to be, you know, fucking doing this whole movement against the Bellas. Have her fucking do something. Where's the next step to the storyline? It's just gonna keep going on and on and on. There has to be a next step to the motherfucking storyline. You can't just keep repeating the same goddamn thing over and over. We get she still hasn't got anybody to join her side. She still hasn't got anybody to join her side. Then fucking either end the storyline or whatever else. I'm fucking tired of seeing the same shit week after week. What the fuck is the point of presenting it? There's still nothing new. Nothing's developed. Every week on this show, something new should be happening. Something new in each storyline should be developing. And that is not what's happening. Why are you so frustrated if you just can't figure out that simple fucking concept? A storyline is supposed to be a fucking story. So tell a fucking story. Stories have a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion. With a fucking body, a conclusion, wherever the fuck it may be. But there's gotta be some meat to the story. Something has to happen to the storyline, and along that line, things happen. Something has to happen! Then up next you had fucking John Cena defeating Cesaro, and this was a pretty fucking good match. With fucking Kevin Owens on commentary. This was only that much more awesome. The only thing I could have hoped for was a better finish. But the finish made sense. And here's the thing. They made Cesaro look like he was about to beat Cena before Owens interrupted. Now, I know you won't, but this is the perfect opportunity to do something with Cesaro. For the fucking 20th time, he's had an amazing match. And from this, he deserves a fucking push. Are you gonna give him a push? You're not, are you? I fucking know you're not. But you really fucking should. Look how fucking amazing he is. Look at the power. Look at the agility. Look at the technical skill and finesse of this man. Holy fucking shit, this guy should be a goddamn main eventer. They're strapped for fucking main eventers. They have no fucking idea what to do. They're even fucking tired of Randy Orton. I don't know if he's injured again, but he wasn't even on this fucking show. Get Cesaro in there. Fuck him not being able to cut an amazing promo. You know, there was guys who were, great, who weren't, like, amazing at fucking promos or anything. You know, there were guys, like, I was looking, like, even Ken Shamrock. You know, he had some personality, but he wasn't amazing on the mic. Well, he was a pretty big success, I fucking think, during the Attitude Era, so there you go. How about it, and he had a match every night, and he always looked strong in the ring. They never made him look like a fucking goofball. So how about that? Once again, how about another template? Just look at the past. See how you worked around guys that don't have amazing mic skills. And I've heard Cesaro on the mic. He's not that bad, so this shouldn't even be a fucking complaint. He's not getting through the audience. Well, fuck that. Fuck getting through the audience. Roman Reigns is not getting through the audience. Randy Orton never really got through the audience on the mic or anything like that. So there you fucking go. There's 1,001 people that are not getting through the fucking audience, so fuck that fucking excuse up your fucking ass, McMahon. And I love this fucking segment. This was a very awesome fucking segment. Now, this is what I understand. If McMahon and the writers could clearly see that this match looks a lot better than the other shit on the card, why is the other part of the fucking show so fucking shitty? You know it's good. Why can't the whole fucking show be like this? Why can't the whole fucking thing be good? I really don't fucking understand it. I don't understand why the fucking light goes out on my camera all the time, why this thing's on a fucking timer or some shit. Anyway, still trying to figure out why the fucking light always goes off on this camera after like fucking 15 minutes or so. Gotta fucking try to troubleshoot my phone here. Anyway, next up you had the Primetime Players and the Lucha Dragons defeating New Day and Bo Dallas. I guess it was an alright match, pretty fast-paced and everything. The fucking Primetime Players don't even fucking get an entrance. The Lucha Dragons get an entrance. They're talking up about Bo Dallas getting a rock bottom on a house show from The Rock. Yeah, I understand, they gotta mention that and stuff like that, but everybody got a spotlight before the match besides the Primetime Players. Do you see the fucking problem there with that? I see quite a few fucking problems, to be quite fucking honest there. When the fucking tag champs don't even get a fucking entrance. I'd say you've got quite a few fucking problems there. Yeah, that's pretty fucking sad, to say the fucking least. At least they won the match, but, you know. Anyway, you had Ziggler and Lana coming out. They're talking about their relationship. Turned out Lana was using Ziggler to get back at Rusev, but now they're in a real relationship. Rusev came out. He's now with Summer Rae. Summer Rae slapped Lana. You know, wanted her to admit that she's a phony. And then they started brawling. You know, not really too sure why she slapped Lana. Just because she wouldn't admit she was a phony. You understand, like, the fucking conversation here leading up to the feud here doesn't even make any fucking sense. You know, it's kind of like there's nothing really that insulting to be fighting over here. Didn't really get the fucking point of this promo. It doesn't really make a lot of sense what was fucking said that led up to the slap. Lana's a phony. How exactly? I really don't understand how she's a fucking phony. Anyway, she wanted her to admit that, you know, Rusev was great. This is just, like, retarded, basically. They're just, like, really trying to do this in a very PG way. I feel like, you know, they're kind of going for almost like a Sable, Jacqueline type of vibe here. I don't fucking know. And, you know, with Rusev playing the part of Mark Merrow and Ziggler just, you know, being another guy headed in there. I don't know. I sense a little bit of that inspiration here, but, you know, I was pretty fucking bored throughout this whole fucking promo. Just like, the fuck? It's just nothing really entertaining at all. Then you had Sheamus defeating Neville. I really like Neville, but this guy's being booked like fucking shit. We're not really being given any reason at all to care about Neville here. We all see he's a great athlete, but they're really doing nothing to really make Neville stand out at all. These are not the right matches to be putting him in. Almost every single match they've put him in so far. You know, he was in Money in the Bank, and to tell you the truth, he really didn't even shine that much in that match. Besides hitting his finisher, you know, he didn't really have any other big spotlight moments off the ladder or anything. You know, if they wanted people to care about Neville, this would have been the other way around with Neville winning the Money in the Bank. You know, I don't really get what they're trying to do here with him. There's nothing really happening with Neville. Like I said, once again, there's no fucking progression here. Neville's on the roster. They brought him up from NXT, and just like everybody else in NXT. I guess he's doing a little bit better than, say, Bo Dallas. But for God fucking sakes, there's nothing happening here to further his career, to really get anybody into the character, the wrestler, Neville. You know, at least fucking give us something to go on here. Like, just give us a fucking reason to at least, you know, care. We're not really even given that. Then you had Barrett defeating Swagger. I forgot that Swagger was even on the fucking roster. Barrett is just, you know, I don't know what the fuck they're planning to do with this guy. They made him win King of the Ring. And nothing's happened after that. He's lost to R-Truth. There's been some moments where he's looked like a complete jobber. And, you know, just since King of the Ring, it's like that was supposed to be his big moment. You know, and they were going to start pushing him from that point on. But I don't really see anything fucking happening. You know, like, do they have anything planned? Why have him win King of the Ring? Why go through all that trouble of setting up the tournament if nothing's going to happen, you know, right after the King of the Ring? Why did they even have King of the Ring? Why did they have Barrett win the King of the Ring if they're not even going to take Barrett seriously? I mean, fucking do something with the guy. I mean, it's a little bit fucking pathetic. You know, you have him win a match and he does absolutely fucking nothing after it. Then in the main event, you had the Authority defeating Ambrose and Kane. Ambrose and fucking Reigns, rather, Roman Reigns. This was a no DQ match, that really wasn't like that much no disqualification in it. The weapons didn't come until after the match. You know, like, here's the thing. Just like with King of the Ring. Why have King of the Ring if you're not going to do anything with it? Why have a storyline with Paige if you're not going to do anything in the storyline? Why have no DQ match if you're not going to do anything that requires them to not be disqualified? Now, the table came after the match. Not during, but after it. So, the point of this being no DQ, I mean, it was an alright match. A normal match. And I'm not really too sure how I feel about Rollins using this pedigree now, because this is his finisher. You know, I could see if, you know, maybe Triple H was not going to wrestle ever again. He was totally out of the picture, but I am just not comfortable yet with this being his finisher. It still looks very out of place to me. I'm having a lot of trouble, like, accepting this fucking shit. Very weird to see the world champion, now the current world champion, performing one of the most popular moves that still belongs to a guy who's still very active in the WWE, in Triple H. Still not too comfortable with it. Anyway, Bray Wyatt interfered in this match. Bray Wyatt was cutting another, you know, nonsensical promo earlier in the night. Yeah, Bray's gonna fucking lose to Roman Reigns. We all fucking know that already. That's quite fucking obvious. You know, okay, so here's the thing. Instead of having this match, which we've seen 1,000 fucking times already, why not have, like, Bray Wyatt team up with Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose and fucking Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. I don't know why I'm fucking mixing these names up so much. But it would make more sense than having Kane in there, who's not going to wrestle at Battleground. You know, it makes no fucking sense at all. Why not at least, you know, give us fucking something here? I really don't fucking get it at all. You know, give us something new, at least. Something different, for God fucking sakes. I mean, you know, we see the same thing week after week. You've got a guy who's in perfect health on the fucking roster. Fucking use him. He's one of the most popular guys there. You see during the fucking promo how everybody gets out their phone, you know, to do the Firefly thing. Take advantage of the fact that you've got a popular wrestler there, and you're doing absolutely fucking nothing with him. It's fucking just melting my brain. The way how they book Bray Wyatt. He doesn't wrestle, ever. Anyway, they put fucking Roman Reigns to the table at the end of the match. I mean, I guess it was alright. Overall, this show was pretty boring for the most part. But the Cena-Cesaro match was really good. But, yeah, you know, and there were some okay little matches here and there. But really, you know, this show just nowadays has a lot of fucking problems holding my attention. I mean, there are just some moments on this show where it just completely fucking loses me. Like, with the whole Ziggler and Lana situation, I'm just rolling my eyes. I'm fucking just, like, dying here watching this shit. The shitty fucking acting. The shitty fucking promos and just a stupid opening to the show. You know, there's moments of brilliance. Like, such a good match with Cena and Cesaro. But, like, then you just go off the fucking rails with just other fucking nonsense. So, you know, it was like a passable show. You know, it's a real shame because you had a great fucking match right there. And it has to be marred by a bunch of other fucking worthless bullshit. So, yeah, it was just an okay show, really, at the very best.